Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Well, today we're tearing into a Aode, a Ford Aode transmission. You gotta come in a work van or F-150, a car, Crown Vic, come in a bunch of different vehicles for Ford or whatever. But it's common they lose reverse, and I'm gonna tear into it and show y'all what happens to it. So if you want to start, you want to come in here and pull your pump bolts out, which I've already done. Now I'm gonna pull my pan bolts off of it, and I'll be right back with you. Pan off of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the pump. If you look, there ain't really a lot of material here. There's a little bit, but I mean, this thing got some miles on it. That's not nothing bad. There's nothing just broke loose in the pan. So I about guarantee it's gonna just be the reverse band. So let me go ahead and get the pump pulled out of it. Pump, you got two holes on here that's threaded. It's for a tool that hooks up on here that pulls it, but you can turn around and screw them down, and it'll push against that pump right there, and I can pull up on it and stuff like that. Use a pry bar over from the edge to pull up on it. I usually just go through and find me some bolts that thread in the right size like that, like this. Now I'll get me a pry bar and I'll pop up on it. I'll come through the hole here, catch that, boom, pop up on it. I get the pump out of it. I should have brought my GoPro today, that way I could put it on my head so that way y'all could see it from that point of view. But I ended up, let me lay all this up here. So now I'm gonna start pulling the drums and all out of it. Make sure you keep up with your wafer spring and all that. Went ahead and pulled the intermediate clutch pack out of it. That's the first pack that you get to. You got this little spring, anti-clump spring right here. Keeps it from rattling. So next I'm gonna get in here, and this right here is gonna be your overdrive band. So I'm gonna pop the band off of it, and then you go ahead and get this drum out. You can get this band loose without turning around and taking the valve body off of it. So I ended up getting that unlocked right there. Now I'm gonna pull this band up out of it, and then I can pull this overdrive drum out. Now I'm gonna come in here and pull this little basket out right here. You can just grab it and pick straight up on it. So let me get it pulled out real quick. We're gonna pull this snap ring right here out. We'll get it pulled out, and then we'll pull our planetaries down here out of it. So let me get it pulled loose. I'll get it pulled out. You got a little anti-clump spring right here. You have to pull that out your way so that way you can twist this planetary to get it picked up out of there. Pull your top off your one-way sprag, the top piece right here with the race and all. This only allows it to go one way. So basically, that way locks, the other way free spins. If you pull that off, then you can get it out without pulling the valve body, because you don't have the piece here sticking out. If you try picking it all out together, it won't come out. Bingo, look at this right here. Right there's what's wrong, right there's what's wrong with your reverse. That's why you lost reverse right there. 9 chances out of 10 with Aode, you lose reverse, it's going to be this right here. It says that it's going to break. Some of them will slip off and all, but it's this band right here. It's the reverse band is all it is. And you come in here and it'll break that little ear off of it. And when it breaks that ear off of it, then you lose reverse. So that's what our problem was. So I'm going to get a reverse band. We're going to stick this thing back together, making some money today. Guys, we got the new band. Go ahead and stick it back down in here. So we're going to start with it. We're going to lock it in down here on the piece. It goes this way, because this is your little pieces that push it right here on both sides. So we're going to lock this piece in first, and we're going to start dropping the stuff back in it. I'll be back with you. The band locked in. Right there, you got it pushing. These are the little piston pieces that push the band to tighten up. When you select it, they push up against them. So this is for overdrive, that one's for reverse. So now I'm gonna start dropping my center support, my planetary back down in there. Once you got this all the way back down, is if you go through and once you drop this down, this planetary, if you spin that and they all spin, then you're locked into the teeth. Otherwise, this one will just spin solo. That tells me that the whole whole gear on the outside is spinning. Bring back in, I got everything down. Once you get this down, you can grab this with a pair of pliers and spin it and get this top piece down in that one-way clutch. So now I gotta go through and put my snap ring with the ear up, holding over top of that. So let me go ahead and put it in real quick. Together right there, see it? Boom. Got all that down. Now we gotta start putting the rest of it together. Down on it. Now, always make sure you got all your bearings too in there when you're putting it together. Well, now I gotta go ahead and put this hub in it, and then we gotta put the intermediate clutches in. We'll have this thing rock and rolling. Pair of pliers like this, make sure you don't scar up the shaft. And you can lock on it, and you can turn it back and forth and wiggle it to get all that to line back up. So I was able to get that down in there. So now we're gonna go through and stick the intermediate clutches in it. We'll be back together with it. The intermediate clutch, make sure you stick that band in. Sorry about that truck going by. just locks right there on that lug, and then that catches right there. So it's pretty simple to stick in. It ain't bad. And I'm going to stack my clutches. Clutch steel, clutch steel, clutch steel. I stuck my little anti-clump spring to push the pressure against it to keep it from making noise when you put it in gear. Now I gotta go over here, stick my waver spring and my pressure plate in, and then put the pump back in it. Together like this. This goes down, and then this wavy spring right here goes on top of it. Now we put our pump back in it. We're ready to put the pan back on, put the pump on, put it back in, see if it fixed it.